And welcome into Your Health. And of course, February is Healthy Heart Month. And of course, you need to be able to maintain a healthy heart. Carl Schmidt's with us today, and you're a naturopath, the owner of the herb shop here in Montgomery, Alabama. Explain to our audience really quickly, what does the term naturopath mean? You take a natural path almost.
Right. It's looking at what's naturally available and implementing that into a person's routine to invoke a better sense of well-being and health.
And that's basically the good Lord. He did it for us,
Right.
and we just steered away from it from the standpoint of making some money,
Right.
which is
Right.
kind of a sad situation,
Yes.
but it happens. So keeping our blood flowing well, and we always hear about as people age, hardening the arteries. Can we loosen those arteries?
Yes. So it's very common as in American population to have some level of heart disease or cardiovascular disease. So we want to think about, well, what is all that? And many people often get prescribed a cholesterol medication. And the whole kind of genre of that has a lot of missing facts to it. The blockage in an artery can be a culprit to poor circulation and can ultimately lead to a heart attack because the blood flow to areas of the heart could be restricted, and then that's where different procedures could be to put a stent in to open up that little section that's clogged. But what is making up that clog? To the average medical doctor, it's only 100% cholesterol, which isn't really the whole truth. It can be calcification. So there are actually different hospitals offer a calcium scoring to see if the calcification is there. Now, how and why does the calcium get into the blood vessels? Our body balances our pH, and pH is potential hydrogen, but it's how acid something is or how alkaline something is. And when we consume a food selection, a diet of too many acidic things, like too much sugar, too much like soft drinks are acidic, coffee's acidic, teas, many things that are common and predominant in a diet or lifestyle are very acid forming in the body. And when our body has to have a pH, our blood has to have a pH of 7.365. So it's kind of easy to remember because there's 7 days in a week and 365 days in a year.
Yep.
But when we consume a pH of 2 or 3, which some soft drinks are as low as 2 or 3 of a pH, it's very, very acid. Then our body has to go, I've got to get some minerals into the blood really quick, or a lot of chemical actions won't happen because the pH is too far for certain chemistry to do and maintain. So the parathyroid releases signals to the kidneys release signals to the bones, and then our bones give off calcium, and then that calcium gets into the bloodstream. And then it touches that cholesterol, and then it starts to oxidize and create plaque buildup in the arteries. So we have to be more aware of how acidic our diets are and have more minerals. So minerals like magnesium, we may need supplementation, potassium, and this is a little confusing because when a doctor pulls blood work, everything looks normal, but they have to look further. Like if you have a bone density scan and you have bone loss, like many women find out they have osteopenia or osteoporosis, that's bone loss. Well, where did that mineral go? It went into the blood, and it often stays and builds that plaque.
So it doesn't flush out of you.
Right.
When
Some
you
of
start,
it will, but
some of the calcium that's in your system, eventually will flush.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then it's also oxidation. Many people, the foods that are very acidic are also oxidative, like rust to metal is oxidation. So the lining of the blood vessel will actually start to get microscopic scars, if you will, and then the body wants to patch that, and that triggers certain immune response. So there's a combination of almost like a scab and calcium and cholesterol all happening on the lining of a blood vessel, and those are the scenarios. So just lowering cholesterol will not fix the whole problem, and so eating more good oils in the diet, having more minerals in the diet, and more fiber in the diet are all parts of the puzzle to help the heart and the blood vessels flow better. Many people aren't getting enough, like the saying, to eat 5 fruits and vegetables. oranges, tangerines, citrus fruits have a lot of vitamin C, and vitamin C helps the blood vessels be very healthy and have that elasticity. And then amino acids like citrulline, arginine, ornithine are certain amino acids, proteins that improve nitric oxide, which improves how a blood vessel can expand and open as needed for better circulation. And then there's other antioxidants like CoQ10 is good for the heart. So there's a lot of moving parts that can supplement how to make the heart healthier and how to help blood vessels be clear of any buildup or plaque.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to get you back next
All right,
week.
good.
We'll talk about maybe the memory going away or a few other little
Right.
fun things. And just remember this, internally you have to make sure that your clock is working well. So you got to keep it well wound. And the way you do that is by watching what you eat and what you put into your system. And we'll be right back right after this.